Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Let's Keep Moving with Risha podcast. This is Risha. I'm a motivational speaker and I talk about things that will help you keep moving in your life, especially on areas like your life, mental health, love, growth, and everything in between. So if you're ready, let's keep moving. Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to ask how you're doing. If you are in the Luzon area, I hope you're all safe and dry. Actually, sa totoo lang, like, I was not supposed to record talaga an episode this week kasi the whole situation caught me off guard. The whole situation surprised me and all that. Pero biglang sabi sa akin ni Jurens, hindi pwede. Kasi may nag-aabang sa'yo. And true enough, I posted this TikTok reel and TikTok video and biglang may nag-comment na nag-aabang daw sila ng episode bukas, which is Monday, your time, the moment I publish this or I launch this. So, the whole week I was not able to record kasi nga dumating si Christine. So, I was also trapped and like stranded sa Batangas City. I was not able to go out because of the typhoon then. And it makes me so frustrated and so sad kasi nung umuwi ako dito, like looking at the aftermath, I can't help but really feel sorry for all the affected area, like specifically yung mga affected area dito. Laurel, Agoncillo, Lemery, even some of my friends sa Taal were really and highly affected. And I'm so grateful na yung family ko dito sa barangay namin, wala namang major casualties, hindi din kami binaha. So I really am grateful for that. But more than ever, I feel so sad talaga. I hope na yung mga nakikinig dito, you're all safe and you're home. I know how it feels like to not be home. So, as someone na kasi parang 4 years ago, syempre naapektuhan kami ng bulkan ng Taal. So, we weren't able to come home for like a month or two. But yeah, my hope is that everyone is safe and I hope you're safe. So while I was scrolling, I feel like today's episode is such a great time to reflect about all these emotions. So habang nag-scroll lang ako, I was able to check my requests and someone asked me about my take on sensitivity. Tapos, sabi niya, nabasa ko dun sa latter part ng message niya, is it like a bad trait? And I was like, oh my God, this is like a perfect podcast episode that we should have next here in the podcast. So, with all these emotions coming up, today's episode is I think super timely kasi nasa heightened of emotions ako, nasa heightened of emotions kami like frustration, disappointment, grief, pain, sadness, what makes me so emotional about this is we were really caught off guard kasi were dying and parang apektado na talaga yung buhay ng mga tao and their living. So, sabi ko nga kay Jurens because we weren't able to talk for like the whole day kasi nga walang signal. And though may power or may power naman ako or electricity sa Batangas City, dito sa province, sa Taal, wala talaga. And wala silang power dito for like 3 days, 3 straight days. So, parang minessage ko si Jurens na while we were talking, sabi ko, how was it possible that the whole province was affected? Like, 'di ba, we haven't recovered fully yet from the aftermath of the eruption. Especially dun sa mga Agoncillo area and Laurel area. Bumabangon pa lang kami, bumabangon pa lang tayo. And this makes me really sad. I know how it felt like talaga to evacuate and to not be home. And 'di ba, during these moments, especially during catastrophes, natural disaster, calamities, we're expected to feel that way. We're expected to feel sad, to grieve, to feel pain, to feel sadness, to feel lonely because a lot of people can relate. because a lot of people are also evacuees. A lot of people were also affected. And I think that's just what it is. It's only like considered reasonable or sensible to feel, 'di ba, if majority of the population are experiencing the same thing or if the majority of the population can relate. But I think the topic of sensitivity kasi works perfectly on situations wherein not too many people can relate. May mga nabalitaan kasi ako and mga nabasa online and even nagkumalat din siya sa mga GCs. And this message was um sent to a lot of people. Parang sabi na, let's not make fun of what people are going through right now, especially amidst Typhoon Christine. Let's not make fun of people's situations or other people's situation, especially the ones who were deeply affected by the typhoon. And of course, I totally agree with this. Like, I'm so with it. There's really no reason for us to make fun of people's situation. Um, People were dying. I mean, that's not something that we should make fun about or make a fuss about. But here's the thing. What I realized, like looking back, let's not make fun of people's situation, not only in the face of a typhoon, or not only in the face of natural calamities or any catastrophe or chaos, but all the freaking time. What I'm trying to say is, let's maintain that attitude of being sensitive, like real sensitivity, every freaking time, diba? Let's not make fun of people's situations. Let's not make fun of people's life or people's circumstances, no matter what the situation is. Because we're not in their position to make fun of it. And even if we are, I don't think we ever deserve that. You know what? Growing up, I was often blamed for being too emotional. And feeling ko dito nagro-root yung idea na, we have to talk about it. Like, ang liit na bagay, umiiyak ako. Like, growing up, while I was in elementary and approaching my teenage years, I'm always that crying cousin every time na parang maaasar ako sa family reunion, ako yung at the end of the day, ako yung hindi nag-enjoy. Kaya I have this parang trauma kapag mga family reunion. I don't usually attend, guys. I love to keep myself out of the spotlight kasi I really don't like the attention kasi I know where this is going. But I learned my lessons. So, parang growing up, I think hindi lang ako naka-experience ng ganito. For sure, we were blamed for crying too easily or for being too emotional, for being too sensitive. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. 'Di ba? Is sensitivity really a toxic trait? I think we're going to answer three questions, pero we're going to just answer them quickly para lang mabigyan kayo ng parang highlight and like a nice view of my take on this and hopefully makarelate din kayo. So first question is sensitivity really a toxic trait? Kasi that's the question that was sent to me via requests on Instagram. Is it really a toxic trait? Second is, when is sensitivity a toxic trait? Kailan siya nagiging toxic? And lastly, how can we use sensitivity to our advantage? Because I think this is what makes feeling deeply so exciting. So if you're ready to listen and know the answers of mine to these three questions, then without further ado, let's keep moving. Okay, so is sensitivity a real toxic trait? First of all, what's sensitivity or what's sensitive in itself? Being sensitive is described as something or someone who reacts quickly and strongly. Kasi usually, di ba, ang sensitive na word itself were associated by things. Kasi parang napag-aralan siya sa science or what, na parang this thing is sensitive, oh, you don't have to touch it kasi it reacts, it might cause damage or harm. But I'd love to define sensitivity when it comes to a person as someone who feels deeply, as someone who reacts quickly and strongly, but at the same time, someone who just feels deeply. And I'd like to start this episode by telling na feeling something is never a toxic trait. Like, to answer the question, is sensitivity a toxic trait? I'd like to start off by saying no, it is not. Sensitivity is feeling, and therefore, feeling is never a toxic trait. Repressing your feelings, I think, would be a toxic one, but feeling in itself is not a toxic trait. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being sensitive. And growing up, I believed otherwise. Na parang, bakit ang bilis kong maging emotional, ang bilis kong maasar, ang bilis kong mapikon, ang bilis kong mainis, ang bilis kong umiyak, and I blamed myself for the longest time. You know what? I just realized it nung parang retreat namin sa Davao na everything, like me not accepting the way I feel or not accepting the fact that I feel deeply, it's all stuck here. Kaya kunyari kapag umiiyak, I remember just quickly lang, nung nag-shift na nga ako from engineering to psychology, I was asked to explain. I was asked to explain by my parents, and I can't speak anything. I was just crying, and it's all stuck here. Like, I have a lot to say, but it's here. So parang, growing up, siguro na-stuck lahat ng mga emotions ko and yung mga words ko here. And I'm so happy na parang all this time for the past couple of years, I was able to go through it naman na. And I would say I'm still working on it, but a lot has improved already. So yeah, going back, I loved it when people are empathetic. Kasi when people feel deeply, when people feel sensitive, they are more wired to offer help. They are often wired to be of support. They are often wired to be kinder, and they're more compassionate. When people feel deeply, they are kinder, they are compassionate, and that's what we want. 'Di ba? Sabi nga, we don't need more logical people. What we need more is definitely people who are compassionate, people who have the heart to serve, to be of support, and to be volunteers, because these people know exactly what's needed. Parang they tend to feel this connection to people, and parang that's what we need in order for us to address people's needs. So that's the first question that we're supposed to address in today's episode. Let's answer two more things in this episode, and honestly, I don't want to make this too long for you guys. Like the past couple of episodes were too long. Like, ang dami kong chika. Nagreklamo sa akin si Julian sa parang haba yata nitong episode mong to. But yeah, let's answer the two more questions. First, our second is, when is sensitivity becoming a toxic trait? And I'd love to give you like siguro 4 examples on parang when can it be considered as a negative na. Kasi 'di ba, syempre alam naman natin lahat ng sobra masama. Like, lahat ng sobra masama. It might be too much money, too much patience, too much love, too much kindness. So, parang lahat ng sobra-sobra masama. And that works the same thing for sensitivity. This is not like the everything. Syempre, we only have a few minutes to talk about this, but I'd love to pinpoint some that are really are relevant, and maybe some of you can relate. Siguro nano-notice nyo na to sa mga taong nakapaligid sa inyo. Or, you can also notice this sa sarili nyo, which I think is the beauty, and I think the gift that I'd like to give you guys. Before even assessing other people, ito na naman ako before assessing other people about these examples, I want you to look back sa sarili nyo. Kasi the world is your mirror. Maybe kaya mo nakikita yung mga yan is because you also see yourself that way. And I think this is what most people do not understand. The world is your mirror, guys. It might be so hard for you to accept, but this is like the truth. Maybe that's the lens na nagfi-filter kung paano mo nakikita yung ibang tao. It's because you're actually seeing yourself in these people. So first is, when is sensitivity becoming a toxic trait? When it's becoming, or when it's already becoming a constant victimhood. What do I mean by that? So, for example, a person who consistently shares stories of how they've been wronged by friends, how they've been betrayed, parang naninira na lang ng naninira ng mga tao. They focus solely on their suffering kasi they feel deeply eh. So, they focus solely on how it became, how the situation or how these people made them feel like they're wrong, or they betrayed them, or something like that. So parang they neglect their roles then dun sa conflicts. Like naninisi na lang sila and they're in this whole victimhood mindset. And this can make others feel na drained and frustrated, especially kapag nandun ka sa receiving end ng frustration na yon. For example, my friend ka na super or sensitive, and palagi na lang siya nagra-rant about everything, about how these people are super toxic, so kinakwento niya to lahat sa'yo, without ever taking accountability na baka kaya nangyari to sa buhay niya is because he also did something wrong, and he's not taking accountability. So, I loved it when people pinpoint mistakes. I loved it when people are aware of the problem, but living in constant victimhood is not, oh, I'm not with it. I loved it when people are taking accountability. Yes, what might happen to you, and I'm repeatedly telling this to you. Yes, what happened to us, we're out of our control. I mean, we're already there. It's out of our control, but at the same time, we can't do anything about it. What we can do is the steps we're going to take afterwards. And yeah, I'm really not with people who constantly blame others and not taking accountability. So watch out for these people, and also catch yourself while you are in this space, or while you are in this loop, kasi it's easier, and it's effortless to be a victim, but it takes so much effort to go out of that loop and do something about your life. So yeah, just something to watch out. I'm going to tell you that the next three would be just as worse, or you can really notice this sa sarili nyo or with other people. But the only, there's nothing wrong with this. Okay? I'm telling you, you're human beings. We're emotional beings, okay? We're meant to feel. And emotions are a sign of life. My coach would always tell that to me. If you're not feeling, you're not living. And that's completely fine. The only thing that could tell you that this thing is a problem na is when it's becoming a pattern. And when you're using this to defend yourself, or use this to become a coping mechanism or a defend mechanism, kapag paulit-ulit na, and it's disrupting your life already, disrupting yourself, your relationships, and your life in general, this is when it gets tricky, and this is when you have to do something about it. So yeah. Next is emotional manipulation. So I have this note right here that says when someone frequently expresses sadness or hurt to pressure others into changing their behavior, that's when sensitivity is becoming a toxic trait. So parang sila yung mga tao na nagsasabi na, if you really cared about me, you wouldn't do that. Parang, nasasaktan na kasi ako, wag mong gawin yan. So, it will make the people around you feel guilt out into compliance. So, watch out for these people. Yeah, before we move on pala to the third one, if you found value in today's podcast, I'd truly appreciate it. Friends, if you can take a moment to give this episode a 5-star rating, you can also follow us here on Spotify and yeah, on your preferred podcast platform. Your ratings and reviews really help us, or me, or the show to reach more people and continue delivering meaningful content. You know what? Surprisingly, habang nagche-check ako kasi natuwa na ako kasi habang nagche-check ako ng ratings sa Spotify. Oh my gosh, the last time I checked it, it was like 997. Let's check it like right now, because I'm starting to be so obsessed about it, because parang yeah, ratings is not all it, but at the same time you also have to think na it means people appreciate my work and all that. So check lang natin. Oh my gosh, what a commercial, diba? Oh my gosh, 999. So it might be you who will make it 1K. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, just give us a 5-star rating if this podcast or episode resonates with you. It really helps us reach more people, and we love to have that like 1K in the star rating with like 5-star kasi yun. So it's so special. Anyways, going back, third is uncontrolled outbursts. I was this person. I used to be this type of person, and I personally don't like you to be one. You might find yourself feeling deeply or feeling so, so like strong emotions, and hindi talaga natin maiiwasan na like sumabog na lang tayo, or because of anger, because of loneliness, because of all these strong emotions, di talaga natin mapipigilan na sumabog tayo. And there really are situations like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm telling you, we're supposed to feel. But please do not use that feeling or that strong emotion to hurt other people and cause disturbance also. Kasi it's not, yeah, it might be valid, but I don't think that it should be your reason to hurt people or to cause harm. I watched this parang video sa YouTube, sa TikTok rather. Parang sinasabi nung taong yun na parang, tao lang daw siya, tao lang din, sumasabog 'pag nagagalit, and it's really true. Parang paulit-ulit na lang ako, it's really true. We're human beings, and kapag naputo na talaga tayo, we can have those uncontrolled outbursts. But how often is this happening? I mean, yeah, I think that's the question you have to ask these people, and you have to ask yourself, how often are these outbursts happening? Kasi if it's once in a blue moon, maybe catch yourself while doing that. Like, okay lang naman. Pero, if it's already causing so much pain sa mga taong nakapaligid mo, I don't think it's valid. I think you really need to address it. I still remember how cringe and how chaotic I was every time I have uncontrolled outbursts, and I pity the people around me every time they catch me having that moment. Pero I'm so grateful na right now I was able to go through it, and I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah. So fourth is sometimes sensitive or sensitivity in itself become toxic when we are not accepting feedback. And it's hard, especially sa workplace, di ba? When receiving constructive criticisms at work, you know, if people are so sensitive and it's becoming so toxic and madalas na siyang nangyayari, parang sasabihin ng ibang tao na, you're just trying to make me look bad. Instead of seeing it as your way of improving or as your gateway to improve yourself and to improve the quality of your craft, you take it so personally. So, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, especially we're in the workplace. Hindi naman natin pwedeng iwanan yung personality natin and characteristic natin as a person sa workplace, and it's so normal. But you also have to understand na parang the people in the workplace are logical people, and they're very objective kasi it's a company and they have to make money, and most of the time they do not care about, I mean, they do care, like companies really care, some companies really care for like our emotions, pero let's accept na it's not their priority kasi they have to make money, they have customers, they're making money, and as much as you are their people and you're working for them, you also have to accept na it's a lame excuse to just tell that I'm sensitive kasi. I mean, you can communicate it naman, especially to your manager and to your boss and to the people you work with. Boss, sir, ma'am, I'm a little too sensitive with feedback. So, just let me know. Like, just let me know when you're giving me feedback so I am not going to be caught off guard na, okay, feedback na pala to. Okay, feedback pala to. I should not take this personally. This has nothing to do with me. This has everything to do with my work and with the craft I'm doing. So I think communication goes a long way. And this works perfectly on all situations, with your parents, with your loved ones, with your partner, with your friends. Let me know if it's feedback already. Friends, diba? Sabihan nyo yung mga kaibigan nyo, yung mga mama nyo, you can tell it to me in a nice way. Please don't tell it to me while you're angry or while you feel this way. tell it to me when it's feedback and I'm willingly going to accept it. That's it for the second question. I hope I didn't go too fast, pero you get me. I know you do. And regardless of these examples, you know where sensitivity is happening in your life. And hopefully, hopefully, you find ways to also take advantage then of the sensitivity. And today I'll be discussing siguro three ways on how you can use creativity or I mean sensitivity to your advantage. So let's go straight to number 1. Again, use sensitivity to read the room. Like what I told you, I love I really love sensitive people. But sensitive people who are aware that they are sensitive. Kasi 'di ba, think of sensitivity as having a heightened sense of awareness of other people's emotions and also energy. And once this happen, for example, nasa isang meeting ka or conversation, pwede kang maka-sense ng mga cues and subtle cues like body language, tone of voice, or even the atmosphere in itself. And this awareness can really help you understand the unspoken needs of people, the unspoken feelings of people, which means, and here's the thing, when you sense this atmosphere, you can respond with empathy and create stronger and more meaningful connections with other people. It's like having an edge kasi in understanding people's needs. And when you're not sensitive, you tend to go beyond. And bigla ka na lang magugulat na naka-offend ka na pala, hindi mo alam. Like, nakasakit ka na pala, hindi mo alam. And while these situations are really happening, like, it's happening all the time. Like, nakaka-offend tayo ng ibang tao. And sometimes these mistakes are honest mistakes. It means we really didn't have any intention. Pero sometimes, kapag paulit-ulit, it's not an excuse eh. You've got to be sensitive talaga and you've got to use sensitivity to read the room, to be cautious of the words you're about to say, of the things you're about to explain to people, and also your reactions to things. Next is channel your sensitivity and turn it into creativity. So, sensitive people kasi they often experience emotions too deeply. And it can really lead to powerful creativity. So use that feeling or that power of feeling deeply, whether it's writing or designing or problem solving. And when you can really tap into your emotional world and the world around you, it gives you like a unique insights on a lot of things. Like, let this creativity lang be your outlet. Let your craft be your outlet. I-transform mo yung feelings mo into a craft, into a physical thing, into a talent, into an art, into content, into solutions na magre-resonate sa ibang tao. 'Di ba? If you don't notice yet, sometimes the most famous authors, the famous painters of our time are sensitive. They are the quiet ones. They're the ones who are self-aware. They are the ones who feel deeply and they can really turn their emotions into art. And honestly, that's what I want for you. So I want you to see your gift of feeling deeply. I want you to see your sensitivity more as a gift rather than it being a pain in the ass. Like, di ba? I mean, life is perspective, friends. You can use it as a gift and you'd be surprised where it can take you. Lastly, use sensitivity to build a resilience. There's this common myth that sensitive people are fragile, but for me, that's not necessarily true. Kasi sensitivity means you're more self-aware, and it is a strength to be self-aware. A powerful person is self-aware. A powerful person knows where he is good at, where he is not that good at, and a powerful person knows how to take advantage of their emotions and how to use it to help people, to use their talent, to build businesses, diba? To build their art, to build their craft. And sensitivity becomes a tool talaga for resilience kasi it can really help you process challenges deeply. Parang a lot of self-reflection moments. And honestly, that's what we want. So yeah, that's it. Sometimes I would say that the most sensitive people are the ones who experience so much pain. But in a world that has given us so many ways to kill our pain, the world has given us, television, drugs, alcohol, social media. 'Di ba? In a world that has given us so much ways to kill our pain, be the one person who feel it. If I have learned one thing from this whole development work or personal development work, it is that pain demands to be felt. It is there because it wants to be felt. And you've got to give it to yourself. Give yourself permission to feel it all. And while you're doing it, always be the person who cares. Be the person who goes beyond for the people they love. Be the person who bears it all. Be the person who never shies away from their emotions or feelings and from expressing them. And be the person who believes in humanity. Be the person who believes in the softness and goodness of other people because they are sensitive. Be the person who loves and cares deeply. Kasi there's nothing beautiful than someone who continues to feel and cares deeply. And I hope that's going to be you. And I hope that you're going to work your way through it to be that person. That's about it, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know how hard it is for everybody to go through other days, especially yung mga nasa Luzon area. So if you were affected by the Typhoon Christine, I am praying for you. I am really, really with you. And if you want to like donate, I am really, really pushing you to donate. Actually, I was thinking na of hosting like a donation drive, but I'm afraid I won't be able to focus on it since I also have work. But I'm helping other organizations, especially mga non-profits, to share the message and to reach more people. And hopefully, through this podcast also, you'll be inspired to go beyond, to tithe, and to help others who are going through a rough patch today. So I hope you got some insights from today's episode because, like always, I'd love to know your thoughts sa Q&A section, sa comment section. Tell me, how sensitive are you? Was there a situation back in the past na parang napatunayan mo na parang sensitive mo pala or parang ang emotional mo pala? So you can share it in the comments. This is a safe space for everybody, so why not? And then in the poll section, I believe you'll see it there. Are you sensitive? Or do you think you're sensitive? You can also share your favorite takeaways on social media, and please don't forget to tag me at Risha Marceliana because your feedback and thoughts are invaluable to me, and I really can't wait to see what speaks to you the most or what spoke to you the most. Again, this has been your friend and your host, Risha. Thank you for pushing me to show up. There's this like moment sa parang, okay, next week na lang ulit yung sunod na episode. But thank you for sending me messages that nag-aabang kayo and all that. So know that I'm grateful for you in all ways. And I've always been. And I'm rooting for you big time. I know you'll get through this. I know that your sensitivity is not toxic, and if you think it is, then I am rooting for you to find and to do everything because you have what it takes to turn your sensitivity into your power. Again, I'm rooting for you like big time. I'll see you in the next few days. Don't forget to always keep moving. Bye!